Game 3 between Candy and Tincan. The fight to represent Singapore. And it does seem like the map is going to be called the Gardens of Terror. Right, so Gardens of Terror here will be the next game going forward, and it's the latest map to be included amongst all 5 maps here in Heroes of the Storm. So in this map, you do your best to try and make sure that you get some good I think it's still called Terror, right? Terrors of the Night, or they renamed that, but doesn't matter. So you try your best to get that done. Oh, I'm actually being bothered by the overlay. No, not really bothered by that, but the chat box just doesn't want to go down. So it's a bit of a problem. Alright, there we go, it's done. Right. Okay, so Gardens of Terror for game 3. And we're gonna have Candy on the blue team once again, and Tincan playing as the red team. Right, so now they're just taking some time to decide who's gonna pick up what first. But of course, Cobalt, which is on Team Tincan, decides to pick this map, Gardens of Terror, so we will have Candy going forward with the first pick. And do give the players some time. It seems like they are trying their best to make sure that there is no delay in the stream. However, this has been an hour-long game, 2 games in fact, and they might be a little tired right now. Therefore a little slow in terms of the decision making coming up from both sides, and I'm still updating the overlays as we speak. But game 3 should be pretty exciting, because this is where either Tincan has got something saved for behind, or they really just got completely outplayed in this whole series here by Team Candy. So here drafting begins here. And we're gonna have just a little bit of a walk through the rules. We have got a total of 2 heroes being banned from each side first. First ban definitely going, first pick and first ban will go towards Candy. So as you can see, whenever you see the light being lighted up, that means that it's their turn to pick. And right, so 2 heroes being banned first, 1 each in the order of Candy, Tincan, then Candy and Tincan like once again. Then after that we'll have 1, 2, 2, 2, 1 picks going into this game. Right, so I'm prompting the teams to decide on the heroes to ban. And it seems like the server is lagging a little bit for them. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in and watching this channel. We're doing this show every single Friday night, 8 PM sharp. So in case you are from Southeast Asia, you have been wanting to watch some good Heroes of the Storm action, like to know more about this game, this is where you can check it out every single Friday night, 8 PM. If you're from the rest of the world, very welcome to you guys for being here. And thank you as well for tuning in. And if you'd like to join the show, please do so by sending an email to epicgamingtvn@gmail.com. And we have the first ban coming out into this game, and that would be a Tychus coming out from Candy. So Candy decided not to go for the Tigers themselves, they will ban out the hero in the first place. By the way, I still cannot find my Sonya, so if they pick Sonya again, do know it will not appear on the stream. But here we have the first hero being banned. That would be Tigers from Team Candy. Now back to Tincan. And it seems like they have decided to finally ban Tassadar. So Tassadar goes out here for the first ban from Team. Moving forward, the second ban coming in here from Team Candy. And they haven't decided it just yet, because some of the players are still joining the lobby. But of course, I cannot wait for draft, or rather captain's mode. Draft mode is the same thing to launch. Once they have it done, I will save a lot of trouble updating these overlays by myself. But I hope you guys enjoy the overlay. If you've got some problem or if you've got some issues with them, please let me know so that I know how to improve. If you're wondering why there are no colors on the hero, that's because I cannot find the authentic colored version of the file. But if you manage to find them somehow, please send it to me as well. And also a feedback that I think I'll take in very nicely is I'm still looking for a co-caster for this. I don't think I can find a camera dude because this game is still very prematurely in the alpha stage for spectator mode, so I'm not able to do that one there. But for sure we'll find a co-caster just so we can have a little bit more extra insights probably. Hopefully we have some good results going forward. But so far, 2-4 going in favor of Candy. And we have Arthur's being banned away by Candy. In the Guardian of Terror map, Arthur's is pretty strong for a very good reason. It's just one of those tankier heroes that could effectively push a lane very quickly. And also can gank very well. We've also got Syndra Gosa there to just stack once again with the Terror Spawn, which is good. And once again, you have Tincan banning the very consistent ban from them, the Tyrael. So Tyrael being banned as well. Wow, that would be crazy. I think they really don't want to play with Tyrael, because Tyrael is just one of those heroes that's completely broken so far, in my opinion. Of course, it's not broken to the extent that it's completely bad that you can't play that hero. It's just rather than the fact that they are pretty okay, you know. Tyrael's pretty okay. It's just that it's broken once you try and consider the fact that they've got judgment over some pretty long range and goes in for stun. Someone pushes your opponent back a little bit. Ooh, that's bad. And they don't want to have an Illidan Tyrael, you know, chain stun situation. Alright, so in case you're wondering what I'm doing so far is I'm trying to sort out some drafting issues that they have. Some answers and questions, of course. All the heroes are not banned, so every single hero that's been launched in Heroes of the Storm so far will be available for pickup. And the first pick, in fact, for Team Candy will be the Uther. Uther has shown its viability in the past game, but I haven't really seen some good skills coming from Uther. Some heals, of course, but still not the determining factor in most team fights. But still gonna go with it nonetheless. So Candy this time are gonna pick it up for themselves. In the last game, it was Tincan that had Uther, but it didn't perform up to standard. As in, it's not really a huge factor for them. And straight up, the bet we have another pick coming in from Team Tincan. It's the Kerrigan and Diablo. So Kerrigan is a very good assassin hero, simply because it deals a lot of damage, as well as the fact that with Tassadar, with some heals, you could definitely expect the Kerrigan to deal some substantial damage over an increased period of time with Maelstrom on there. So that's some pretty good skills, and it seems like they're gonna follow that with a Diablo. So that would be Diablo Kerrigan for Team Tincan. And back to Candy. Candy will now decide 2 more heroes for themselves. Here I think they can actually try and go for another support healer first before anything else. And over a map so big, maybe they want to go for Feldstad. Whoa, they will go for Feldstad and Anub Arak as well. Anub just a little bit broken because it's one of those heroes with a little bit more stun in terms of mechanic wise. It's one of the better heroes with both Impale as well as Bow Strike. Some pretty good skills coming from the Nerubian there. Pretty good stuff. But Feldstad will provide the utility that they need. Feldstad, Anub Arak here for Team Candy. Feldstad will be able to fly across the Great Plains of Gardens of Terror and will land over the other side there just quickly. It will serve as a quick reinforcement for the rest of the team, as well as the fact that it could actually go for objectives very quickly. It will also allow them some increased time in terms of getting some extra shrooms or terrors killed, and then they can go back to the base and spawn their very own garden terror there. So going forward, 2 more picks here for Team Tincan, and we're going to see Tyrande and Vala being picked up here by this drafter, Cobalt, for the team. Some pretty good skills here, but I'm a little bit worried because Tyrande isn't very much accomplished here on this team. We've seen that on the first game. Wasn't really one of those games that I really would mark as my favorite one because it's just a little bit too steamrolling in my opinion. Candy just did a great job killing them quickly. Tyrande was being used in that game to try and amplify damages, but it just wasn't done with the Hunter's Mark as much, and double heal just completely eroded any possible chances of winning there for Team Tincan. But they're going to go ahead with Tyrande nonetheless. Tyrande as well as the Vala here. So Vala, Tyrande will deal a lot of damage as well as the Kerrigan. So they've got 2 assassins on their team. Effectively half a support and 1 beefcake. So that's going to be Tincan's lineup here for the next game. Still haven't decided the last hero yet. But for Candy, they have pretty respectable tank, pretty alright. 1 good support, good mobility. A lot of mechanics in the team already. Some good stuns, some good heals. And Feldstad, of course, with some pretty good mobility. I wouldn't say Feldstad has got a lot of damage, but it's still able to deal up to about 100k damage per game to heroes, of course. And that's just one of those very good games you like to play with a Feldstad that's on your team. But here, I would say for sure that Feldstad would have to do the heavy lifting unless they pick up 1 other damage dealer. And looking at Tincan's lineup, they definitely need to look for 1 more. I would say Zeratul is pretty good. Nova is awesome. Nova first time, or rather for the second time, isn't banned in this series yet. Zeratul for the first time being thrown out of the ban pool there. So Tychus is not being allowed here in this game by Candy. And they don't have the Tassadar that they had for 2 games to work with. So maybe without Tassadar, Tincan might just be able to go ahead here. And it is going to be a Nova as well as Stitches coming out here from Team Candy. So Stitches is just so much more tanky. If Anub Arak is half a tank, then Stitches would be about 1.5 times a tank. That's just how much more tanky Stitches is. And also some good extra mechanic with the hook there from Stitches. And last but not least, also the fact that Nova deals some substantial damage. I would like to see Triple Pete as well as a very big ass cannon from the sky skill from Nova. And those will be enough to really deal some good damage on weak heroes behind Diablo from Tincan. So now Tincan's going to pick the last hero, and it's going to be the Rhaegar. Rhaegar is a pretty strong hero. It's just the missing piece if you ask me, because they have already sufficient damage. They've got 1 beefcake, they just need some good heal. Choosing Tyrande over some of the other healers is a little bit questionable, but it seems to me that both teams don't really play specialists. And we've seen the Zippo in the last game being picked up by Tincan, but it didn't work out well for them at all. So here they're going to go with the standard straight up no specialist lineup. And it's going to be made up of Kerrigan, it's going to be made up of Rhaegar, it's going to be made up of Diablo, Tyrande, and Vala. And this looks like it's pretty good to me. Right, so the full draft is now ready and we're going into game real soon. And a little bit off the top of my head, I can say that quickly on Team Candy side, there's one pretty good support. That's the Uther. Uther straight up against Tyrande, I would say the Uther is very good in terms of healing. But if you pit Uther up against Rhaegar, I would say it's kind of split down the middle. Of course, you could see that Rhaegar is able to do a bit of a chain heal. Uther on the flip side is not really able to do that, and some of the healing mechanic of Uther is not really good because it takes a lot of positioning, whereas for Rhaegar I don't really have the problem. But if Rhaegar goes for Bloodlust as ultimate there, last talent of all, then that would be pretty exciting to see. So in terms of damage dealing, you're looking at Nova as well as Feldstedt up against Kerrigan and Vala. Hands down, I like the Kerrigan-Vala lineup a little bit better. Nova is strong herself, but with Feldstedt, okay, I'm just anti-Feldstedt personally, because I think Feldstedt, you need a lot of good mechanics and execution to make it work out well. Whereas for Kerrigan and for Vala, it's a little bit more slanted towards the beginner level where you have, okay, Kerrigan's not so much. Vala is slightly easier to use than Kerrigan for a very simple reason that, you know, it's just one of those many situations where you're just not able to get in some damage as the Kerrigan and you just die. For Vala on the flip side, you just hide behind, and that's the difference between a melee assassin and a ranged assassin, a major difference there. So definitely like to see some good plays, but of course Nova is on the next whole level, and that's just one of those heroes that got buffed in the recent alpha patch going in. So here we have it, game number 3 forward, and it seems like Candy is going to be the one that will be on team on the blue team, sorry, and on the red team it will be the Tincan. Meanwhile, just give me a little bit of a time here just to update the score and put up the overlay before we go in and load up the game. Right, so here we go. So heroes introduction once again on the blue team, Team Candy. Kiro playing as the Anubarak. Maki, okay, I cannot see what he is there, but Candy is playing as the Stitches. Oh, sorry. Kiro playing as the support Uther. Maki on the Anubarak. Vexi playing as Nova, as well as Feldstedt being played by Ray. And all the way on the Raid team, we have got Rhaegar being played by Please Shoot. Cobalt onto Kerrigan. Lunchao playing as Diablo. And also, we've got Angelica playing as Vala. Last but not least, Tyrande being played by Other Dude there. So the score looks absolutely correct. 2-0 in favor for Candy. They are just one game away from winning themselves the series, as well as a ticket to fight against the Philippines team next Friday night. Of course, if you are from Southeast Asia or anywhere else in the world and you'd like to join us in the weekly Friday night 8 p.m. Stormholtz showcase match, do drop us an email at epicgamingtvn@gmail.com. But back to this game here. So far, Anubarak taking a little bit of damage already from Lunchop. A Cobalt jumps in, might be able to hook in as well, and there goes the substantial damage, but Burrow Strike means that he's going to be alright. Candy goes in for the hook and pokes back Lunchop. Diablo dropping really low. Last hit from Vexi, but not in range for that, and there goes also the stun from Maki. He's not going to connect on Diablo, but Cobalt takes up too much damage, and double DPS all the way down here with a Lunchop. They pop the healing well and will pull back. So far, so good. Level 2, Please Shoot up against a level 2 Kiro here. That will be Rhaegar against the Uther. So that's a support lineup in the mid lane. Laning wise, I would say that so far everything looks pretty okay. Top lane definitely going in favor for Ray there as Feldstedt. Tyrande is just a little bit weak in that particular aspect. Personally, I don't think that Tyrande is viable for competitive play because he's just such a squishy hero. Cannot really heal that much, but a little bit more utility based. But here comes the gang from Lunchop and Cobalt onto Ray. Ray gets reeled in completely, and then Feldstedt might just go down. The first blood goes to the Ray team. Well done there. And they're now also going to try and look in for extra kills here on Vexi and Candy. They're still in this area all the way here at the top half of this map. Kiro rides a little cute pony trying to chase Lunchop on also another really cute pony there, which looks borderline offensive. But then again, the whole team now still gonna try and get as much of this shrooms as possible. This Minions of the Night, some pretty good seeds that they give. So the objective of this game really is to knock off these thrones, but of course there's still a side objective, and that is to try and kill all these Minions of the Night just to make sure you get some extra seeds. Once you have enough seeds, which is in like about 100 seed, then you can spawn a Garden Terror. With the Garden Terror comes 3 extra skills for you. First, namely a hack skill. It's a range hack skill, and it's also a little bit good AoE on it, so you just need to use it in a specific area, and then if the opponents in the area, definitely all of them become hacked out. They are susceptible to a lot more damage from your team because they are just not as tanky. I think the HP drops dramatically in that state, as well as the movement speed. They're also not able to use any skills in that state. The second skill for the Garden Terror is a very utility-based skill that could easily lock down on towers and deals damage to them, making them just completely inactive. And hold that thought, Kiro now gonna land a good stun. Now also gonna try and pull back, launches a bit of good skills, and sidesteps away Kerrigan skills there nicely. Kiro gonna be able to join the rest of his team, knocking on the first Garden Terror before even level 10, just level 6 to decide to go for that already. And it's simply Terror is going to go all the way to the blue team. They're going to also have about 90 seats only. Red team going to try and circle their very own Garden Terror, but it seems like blue team is going to try and come down here by themselves. Andobarak is at the bottom lane. We've also got Kiro in this area. And Kiro gets reeled in by Overpower on Diablo. Lands a stun on Loonchop. And there goes the stance on Candy Ass. Gets completely reeled in. Maki comes in. Burrow Strike misses completely. Cobalt now also going to try and pull back. There goes the Impale. Cobalt gets locked down. Cobalt dropping really low. Goes down at the end of the day. And now here we have Loonchop getting chopped up once again. 5 men against 1. Plishu not able to heal him in time. He goes down. And blue team now going to secure this Terror as well, which means they're going to have 100 seed after at the end of the first night. And that also means that they're going to have some pretty good time pushing here with the Garden Terror. And back to the Garden Terror, they have a second skill to get really disable towers as well, deal damage to them and all other structures as well. The last skill is what we call a bit of a haste here. It allows you to move very quickly over a short period of time, and definitely will be able to help in most team fights, given the fact that Garden Terror also deals substantial damage over heroes, not just like it was previously on just towers. It also deals good damage on heroes. So what we're going to see is a flying Garden Terror slapping the hell out of the Raid team right now. And Anomarak will volunteer to be the Garden Terror. So Maki playing as the Garden Terror right now. Mid lane Vala gonna get a little bit boxed out here by Kiro's team. Vexy just dancing around behind here. The Scout Owls can connect on Kiro and Ray. And here comes the Garden Terror. They're gonna try and knock on the turrets here in the mid lane first. And here, this is the skill I was talking about. It completely disables the towers and deals a lot of damage to them. DOT, by the way. And that's the hex skill. Angelican gets hexed out there. Loonchop gets over. Loonchop uses overpower on Candy Ass, but Diablo is gonna be able to pull back. And Moonfire is gonna be used on Maki as well. Kiro now gonna try and push the rest of this lane here with another incarnation of that irritating plunder. And down goes the healing well. Diablo gets hexed out. Maki gonna try and pull back. Kerrigan flies to his teammate Angelican, but that's about it. And we've also got some good Moonfire on Ray. Other dude gets stunned by Kiro. And it seems like Plishu is going to drown in as well, but Loonshot dropping really low. Diablo looking like he's going to take the fall. Candy is going to try and look for a good position on the hook, but will not get it off just yet. And Maki is also in this area. Other dude lands a little extra damage onto the Garden Terror. Garden Terror dropping really low. Not much of my liking there. I like to see Garden Terror lasting really long in battles, especially given the fact that they are able to do so. But knocking off the entire meat shop houses here made sure that he is dropping all the way down to just about 10%, and he's also going to respawn real soon as Maki. So here comes Anumarak, and Anumarak will be able to run away quickly, but Kenny S gets overpowered, and they have the level 10. They have the level 10 talent to use already. So surprising to see they have not added up any of the skills just yet. Alright, Kiro goes in for a 5-man stun, and also here comes the lightning. Cobalt drops the fall, Kerrigan goes down, and now Diablo gonna try run back. And here we have Raga trying to heal up Angelica by 3 men all the way down to just about 20% health. Ray, there goes the Nova snipe, and down goes that Ray there. Complete steamroll, 2 men down. And it seems like Ray team gets pulled all the way back once again. By the way, Vexy landed that ultra awesome cannon all the way from the top lane. So that's it. Seems like blue team's gonna be able to take up the Siege Golem as well. Maki's still in this area. Anubarak looking to run away. Diablo coming in, and there goes the Shadow of the Moonlight skill. Quickly. And speaking about that, let's just go and look into this talent first. Do we have the time for that? No, it doesn't seem so. Loonchop goes in, overpowers the Uther. Uther gets zoomed in by the Kerrigan. Here comes Stray from Angelica, and that's going to deal damage on 3 heroes there, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Blala is going to get used here. Maki dropping really low. Kiro looking like he's going to take the fall. He goes down quickly. Maki also going to go down. And Ray team looking like they actually have a chance in this game for the first time. Going in. Here comes the Nova Cannon, just takes down that Rhaegar. as well. Diablo takes the fall, flying all the way here. My god, that is some distance to cover as a corpse. And now Cobalt gets completely knocked over, and here comes Stitches. That's the worst nightmare of Direshire, and it's gonna be possible. Cobalt's looking like it's gonna drop. Kerrigan takes the fall finally, and here we have Vala. Gonna be a runaway at the end of the day. Seems like the Scouting Owl's gonna be able to connect on one. And now we have time to talk about talents. Finally, good stuff. Divine Storm on Uther for sure, as you can see there. Gorge by Stitches. And we also got Locust Swarm by Maki for sure. It just doesn't make sense that the other skill for Anubarak, if you ask me. Shock and All by Ray. And definitely Precision Strike will be played on the Nova. I'd like to see Triple P instead, but it seems like Precision Strike is also pretty viable. But I like the Triple P a little bit better because it can refresh once he hits level 20. So once he hits level 20, unlocking the second talent. Apocalypse by Diablo. We've also got Maelstrom on Kerrigan. That's the one I want to see. Strife as well on Vala, so that's a lot of damage. Tyrande playing Shadowstalk, and Bloodlust on Rega. So you've got a lot of good DPS skills on the raid team. You've got a Maelstrom for them to work with. You've also got Apocalypse just to do a little bit extra utility factor. And you also got Vala with the Strife. And I don't really see why they are losing team fights. Just other than the fact that they are a little low in terms of level. So they need to hit level 13 as soon as possible, just so they can actually unlock the other talent that the blue team already has. Oh, Megan looking for a Gotcher Candy. Nope, not gonna do it just yet. Looking, just lock down the Tyrande. Diablo jumps in quickly, and seems like Diablo gonna take the fall first. And here comes the Shock and All. It's not gonna connect, unfortunately. Angelica looking like it's gonna drop really quickly, but here comes the heal from Uther. Uther heals him, but Cobalt looking like it's gonna go. There goes the Apocalypse. Here comes the Bloodlust, and oh my god, this is where 2 or 3 starts dropping quickly. All that's left is Tyrande with no man to protect her. It's looking really bad for the raid team, and that happened really quickly. Kiro going in with that divine, just the divine skill there. What's it called? Divine Storm, right? Pretty good stuff. So although Ray misses the ultimate, but I think it's still very well done by the rest of the team as well. We've also got Nova using the Precision Strike in that team fight. So here comes the knock on to the second gate as well as towers. Moonlight's not going to connect, unfortunately. Here comes also the hook. Candy is going to pull back. Garden Terror being used by Maki, and it's going to be a Garden Terror showdown between Cobalt and Maki. Both of them Garden Terrors in their own right. Here comes also the Hex. It's going to connect on Tyrande. Tyrande falls back a little bit, and it seems like Maki's going to be a little bit of trouble. Cobalt's still going to try and dance around this area. Vexy, a little bit of disconnect, but here comes the hook onto Vala. Vala pulls back quickly with a bit of that extra Strafe here, but it's not going to be able to do much of anything. Here comes Overpower onto the Feldstad, and Strafe being used by Vala once again. That's going to deal some damage. Kiro dropping really low, not going to be able to land a stun, and there goes the 2-man stun, but he takes the fall at the end of the day. Cobalt's going to try and run out of his Garden Terror form, comes back out again as Kerrigan, and we got Maki as Anubara going in the Precision Strike. Not going to connect on much, but still picks off the Kerrigan at the end of the day. And Diablo drops quickly. Next is going to be Rega, and it seems like the raid team disintegrated right in front of the blue team's Feldstad as well as Nova, dealing so much damage. If you look at the stats so far, you've got leading this entire game for damage, that Vala on hero damage, but still Feldstad 19k hero damage. Very, very good. It's surprising to see that Anubarak's dealing all the siege damage, but still that's pretty pleasant surprise for you guys. Level 17 is to level 14. You gotta be kidding me. With that Vexy Nova. Precision Strike all day, any day. Even though it was just so close, it looked like it's gonna miss, it still killed Kerrigan. So that is still some good credit. Here comes Shadowstalk, and raid team will spot out blue team. Diablo better buy its time a little bit. Overpower onto the Nova. Here comes Shock and Awe. It's not going to connect much. Apocalypse going to get used, and Vexy looking like he's going to drop quickly. He does, and down goes also Stitches. Now it seems like that is going to be the end of Feldstad. Maelstrom going to be used as well, and raid team with the Shadowstalk, but it's a complete bullying situation. 5 against 3, and they don't have the healer there as well. Looks like this is not going to be a steamroll game. Kiro with Maki knocking on to the hard camp. We've also got similar situation happening all across the map here on the raid team, knocking on those Sage Golems as well. And the Scout Owl's not going to connect on Maki and Kiro as well. They're going to pull back. On the flip side, we're seeing some Siege Golem just dealing some damage on those creeps. They're really fuzzy looking, but not able to do much of anything. Right, so here we go. Siege Golems being unleashed here by the raid team. And it seems like this is going to be a steal. Maki steals the Sage Golem for the blue team. Really nicely done here. And Loonchop jumps in, overpower real soon. There we go. It's knocked back in once again. Barrel Strike gonna be up. There we go. Have it. He's gonna run away as well. And Rega comes in, lands the slow totem, but a 3-man stun from Maki seals the deal, and it seems like they're gonna be fine. Felstad flies in from nowhere. And now knocking on the Garden Terror once again. Seat count so far, 46 for the red team, 26 for the blue team. And red team struggling to make ends meet. They are just not able to, focus in this game as much as they want to. They have got a lot of distraction so far, with a lot of mercenary camps being picked up by the blue team. Candy has misses the hook, unfortunately. And there goes the Moonfire, sorry. It does connect there quickly. And Loonchop gonna get stunned here by the Anubarak. There goes the Impale stun. Loonchop also gonna pull back. That's the Diablo. Diablo now gonna try and run away. Here comes the slow totem being used by Rhaegar. That's gonna try and buy Diablo some time. But there goes the hook, and Diablo gets reeled in once again. There goes also the stun from Uther, and also the Impale for a second time. Down goes Diablo. Maki goes in for Barrel Strike, but it's not even needed. So the whole team's gonna try and pull back. And that's it. Kerrigan gets chopped down alive there by the Stitches. And that is one yummy meal for Stitches. Yummy, yummy. Not even level 20. Seems like the game is very tilted in favor for Team Candy once again. So they're gonna knock to the Garden Terror on the top half of this map. We've also got some substantial creeps pushing the fort all the way to the top lane. Maki lands a complete good line stun there. But that's just for show purposes. It's not really effective. Doesn't kill the creeps, but still damage has been done. He can aim properly. And that's good to know. So we have the Garden Terror all ready for the blue team. Anubarak's gonna go back home and take that one once again. They're also gonna knock on to the second Garden Terror for themselves, which means they're gonna have more than 80 seats for the next fight. Yeah, 94 in fact, perfect. With a Garden Terror on their side and no Garden Terror for the red team. Remember the previous team fight, the only main reason why they were able to hold out so long was because there's a huge Garden Terror versus Garden Terror position here in the second gate. But Stitches with the hook, and Kerrigan runs away, but it gets pulled back once again. That's not going to be good. And here comes a Maelstrom, and a Precision Strike going to connect on only the Diablo, not going to deal sufficient damage. And it seems like there goes the Hex, and down goes Please Shoot. And that's it. There goes Diablo once again, going to get locked in by 4 in that area. Stitches going in, chomps down the Vala. Vala, guys, comes out once again. Down goes the Burp, and he goes down quickly as well. Other dude, Esterande, one man defending against his position with Diablo respawning because of Black Soulstone, but that may not be enough to hold them off with a Garden Terror by the side for just another 4 to 5 seconds. Other dude drops once again. Tyrande goes down, and Diablo's all that left here on the Ray team. Blue team is on a steamroll tonight, and they show that they are not gonna lose even one map against Tincan. And Tincan with Cobalt and Loonchop in this area. There goes the stun on Maki, the Garden Terror. Hex gonna be used, not gonna connect anyone. Diablo jumping in on Nova directly. Felstad doing a little bit of a nice air show for us, but it will not get anything done. There goes also the Hex on 2. Cobalt gets locked in, and there goes the Precision Strike. That's gonna kill the Cobalt completely. Now Loonchop gonna pull back, but the game is done. And 3-0 exchange in that whole awesome team fight. Oh, sorry, 2-0 exchange in the whole team fight there. And that dragged on for ages. Really, really good team fight being shown us by both sides here. And also, some awesome gameplay by Candy for the entire night. 3-0, guys. They didn't lose a single game, and they are ready for the Filipinos next week. But that said, we are now looking at the stats here, and it does seem like the most amount of seeds will be collected by Uther, that's Kiro, as well as the most amount of takedowns shared by both team, as well as Vexy playing as the Nova. And it does seem like those precision strikes really are crazy if you look at that. Half the time I think Nova wasn't even in that area, was just trying to get some EXP all the way at the top half of this map here. And that said, you've got some good synergy on them. You got the Stitches, you got the Anubarak, as well as on the red team. It's just a little bit sad to see that the support was the main factor for them losing this game. Personally, I think Kerrigan did its best, Diablo did its best, Vala as well, but Tirana is just not the best support possible. Yes, I know Shadowstalk is very good, and it does show that they are still able to pick up some kills, but Shadowstalk's cooldown is just way too long for it to be effective, and that's a problem there. And effective, they've got Rhaegar for some heals, but Rhaegar are just not the best. You can heal at one, but Rega went for Bloodlust, and that's just like, okay, the whole team can go invisible, the whole team can go Bloodlust, Blood Hungry, and deals a lot of damage, fast attack, fast movement speed, invisibility as well, but so what? You just don't have enough heals there, up against a single healer, Uther, which is going to be very hard for them to deal with. They also were not able to zero in on Uther most team fights. They were able to deal some damage, but Uther was always able to get away with 2 to 5 man stuns on the Divine Storm there. Some pretty good skills being used by Kiro. And also, we've got, just once again, awesome Precision Strike by Vexi on that Nova. Maki's stuns were alright, they were fine. Stitch's hooks were definitely on point. So, yeah, that's the recipe to winning this entire game here. And for Feldstedt, I would say that for sure Feldstedt deals substantial damage as one of those most consistent DPS in this game. Shock and Awe, unfortunately, is just very hard to execute, which you normally want to try and just rope in Zagara or maybe even ETC just to land the Shock and Awe properly. But here they have Divine Storm, it's just that the synergy between Hero and Ray is just not as strong. So that's the weird part here for me. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoy this series here. And unfortunately, we're going to call it a night already because it's a 3-0. And yeah, we're going to have the Philippines show match next week. And that would be, I think, Cow Level Gaming versus Candy. And you guys just witnessed what Candy can do here tonight. So definitely next week's going to have a lot more to expect. And I'm really excited. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. And now I'm going to answer some questions on the stream. There was some question being thrown out halfway through that game. And by the way, this is still a game in alpha. It's still a little bit different, a little bit hard to spectate. And as you can see, it's just hard to toggle around the talents. The information from the game is just definitely very, very hard to pull out. Still, I'm trying my best as well. We have the talents. Unfortunately, they show us icons instead of skills, and maybe there could be some ways for them to try and package those information a little bit better in the draft mode. Unfortunately, we'll have to feed back to them, and I'm pretty sure that some other casters and other personalities that have already told them that the spec mode needs some extra working on. But I'm just still glad that there is at least spec mode here for us to work with. And yeah, those games were brought to you live, by the way, on EGTV, and I hope you guys enjoyed that cast. Last but not least, this is going to be a Friday night show, every single Friday night show, 8 p.m. sharp, GMT +8. Just tune in to Epic Gaming Television, and this is where we're going to be as well as some of these teams from Southeast Asia. If you are not from Southeast Asia as well, that's still fine. I'm still trying to hook us up for an interview. Let me see if I'm able to get that done. In the meantime, let me just try and lock up this game and arrange some interview. Hopefully we get a chance to speak with the team from Candy. Right, so that's it. I'm actually gonna end the VOD recording here, and right, that's just that's it for the VOD, guys. You guys can still watch the interview, which is gonna be recorded in just about 3 minutes.